Welcome back to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Murph, and today I want to cover VeChain. Now, there's some reasons it's on my mind. I know many of my community members have been asking me to cover it again. I did do a video on it a few months ago when the truth is the price was really attractive to get in there. And what I like to do is identify what I feel is a good buy for my portfolio. Whether or not that's a good buy for your portfolio, that's on you to make that decision, because none of this is financial advice. It's just my thoughts on how I look at things as an investor. Now, if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, I'm an investor myself. I've been an investor for 20 years. I've only been in crypto for 4 years, though I did learn some very good lessons, unfortunately, in 2017 when I was brand new, because I did make many of the rookie mistakes, even with all that experience investing in the past. And in my daily life, I still am a professional buyer for an investment company where I identify good acquisitions for them and I make those acquisitions happen. And so I like to think I'm good at identifying good buys. So I want to cover VeChain. I want to share with you my thoughts on, is it a good buy yet, and what am I looking for? So let's go ahead and get this party started. Join me, Rainmakers. All right, thanks for joining us. Now, if you're looking for good crypto information and analysis, that's what I have. Not so much a news channel. There are crypto news channels, and I'll just give you kind of the daily news. What I share with you is my thoughts on what I see going on, and I like to think I offer a different perspective. It's different than a lot of the other stuff I watch, although there are sometimes, occasionally, moments that I catch other people saying the same things that I have. So if you're looking for a contrarian view from an investor person, maybe this is the right channel for you. We'd love it if you joined us, Rainmakers, because we're definitely here to make this year rain for us. Also, I'm going to talk at the end about the giveaway that we're doing. I don't particularly love giveaways because, I honestly think that we value things more that we have to work for. So with this giveaway, we did make it a little bit different. We made it kind of a game. So there is some luck involved, but there's also some skill involved, and I'll talk about that at the end. So if you're interested, the total giveaway for next month is $1,000. So definitely join us if you're interested in that. Let's go ahead and cover VeChain here. Now, what am I looking at here on VeChain? So this is VeChain versus the US dollar on Binance. And what we're looking at is some parabolic behavior. Now, unfortunately for people new in this, when they see this kind of parabolic behavior, we tend to jump in because we're human beings and we get the fear of missing out, and then it begins to trade sideways. Now, I wanted to cover this a couple days ago. It's been hard to fit this in my schedule, but I definitely didn't want to go any later than today, because VeChain has had a monstrous rise, and part of the reason is because there's been some supply chain issues around the world, starting with the Panama Canal when there was some congestion there. So supply chain and supply chain management has been on a lot of people's minds, and leading to new deals and just thoughts about supply chain management, which is where VeChain is. Now, supply chain management is one of the things where cryptocurrency can really improve efficiencies for businesses, and VeChain is one of the leaders in supply chain management. You may already know this, but the CEO of VeChain, prior to being CEO of VeChain, was the CEO for Louis Vuitton. And Louis Vuitton, they have two major things that they're always thinking about at the executive levels there, and that is supply chain management, as well as people copying their products and making counterfeits. And so when he started VeChain, these things were on his mind to improve the problems behind supply chain management, as well as making it so that people can't counterfeit the products with, it's not so bad, the well-made knockoffs. It's the cheap knockoffs when people pay a high price for something and they find out that it's not real leather and it's not this and it's not that, and it falls apart within a month, and that leads to a lot of disappointment. So solving those two problems, those are both problems that cryptocurrency can solve really well. So we're looking at the daily time frame here on the charts, and we see this big parabolic move. And guess what happens oftentimes with a big parabolic move? Well, then it actually starts trading sideways, and often it actually does this nice pullback. So if we're here talking about good buys, good purchase points, let's draw out perhaps some good purchase points. So this is the Fibonacci retracement tool, and this is what us investors use to look at what might be a good buy entry point. Now it did retrace all the way to here ever so slightly or temporarily, and this is the 38.2, and in a bull run sometimes this is the only retracement level that gets hit. But if you're lucky, it will sometimes hit an even better buy zone at the 50% retracement mark, or the 61.8 gets really attractive, and if you're really lucky, in a bull market, it hits the 78.6. So the way us investors trade it is we usually have a diversified portfolio. And say I'm interested in increasing my position in VeChain. Then I put some buy orders down here. I put some bigger buy orders here and then some larger buy orders here. And so if just this gets hit, great. If this gets hit, fantastic. And if this gets hit, happy day. Now it has had a parabolic move, and after a big parabolic move, what often happens is some sideways trading. And so we can look at Cardano to see exactly what a parabolic move followed by some sideways trading looks like. And Cardano is one of my favorites as a project, and they have some big news coming out later this week. So you saw a big parabolic movement like this, and then all of a sudden it kind of planes off. Now it happened to plane off right about where its all-time high from the last cycle was, right about there. And it has been trading sideways for a while. Now what's funny is there's still a lot of upward pressure on it. So even if we were to draw this out with lines, it looks like this, and usually you see some bigger retracements involved, and maybe that is coming. Now I did increase my position on Cardano a little bit right at it's on log scale. That's why we're seeing less of a retracement than we should be seeing. Makes better sense now. Okay, so let me just remove these drawings, and we're going to draw some fresh ones. So it went all the way up to its previous all-time high. It's tested that a couple times, broke through ever so temporarily there, and then has come back and traded in. So Cardano, I'm just showing you what retracements look like, so you better understand, if you're interested in VeChain, what might be a more attractive buy. So you see how this came down all the way near the 38.2. Now it hasn't come below that from where this high is. And so what often happens is some people front run it. I'm one of those people that usually front runs this number. If I have a buy order, I don't usually put it right at the 38.2. I put it a little bit above. And so a couple of times it retested right around that level before then pushing up. In fact, I was one of the buyers. I bought a bunch more at $1.02. After it retraced from $1.50, so even though it only looks like the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, that was actually a significant pullback from almost $1.50 all the way down to $1.02, which made for a really good buy. So when you're looking at VET, just be thinking that in your mind, that though you could go ahead and pay today's price at 23 cents, if you're lucky, you might have a good entry possible right around 18 cents. If you're really lucky, a good entry right around 14.5 to 15 cents. And if you should get so lucky, 12 cents would make for an amazing entry point on VeChain. So this is what sideways trading looks like, and off it comes down to some things. So this is why chasing green candles can be very frustrating, is because you end up buying somewhere near the top, and then it goes through this long trading period. In fact, there's usually some bigger pullbacks, which then you realize, oh my gosh, if I'd been patient, I could have just bought even more for cheaper. Does that make sense? So another one on everyone's mind on top of VeChain is Dogecoin, and Dogecoin itself is going through some sideways trading. Now, I don't recommend anybody invest in Dogecoin because I don't consider Dogecoin an investment. I consider Dogecoin gambling. And the reason is there's no underlying fundamentals behind Dogecoin other than its pumpamentals. But the supply is ever increasing with no decrease in the amount of new Dogecoin that's produced, as well as there's not a team actively developing it to improve it. So I do get that some of the, some different merchants and stores are now accepting Dogecoin. There are better projects out there in my mind, but so Dogecoin is a little bit like pulling the slot machine at the casino, which I know a lot of people like to do. That's not my thing. I would rather pull the slot machine on a good investment that has a better chance than not of doing well, and that's more my style. But this is exactly what sideways trading looks like. Just know that there's some people that paid 45 cents for Dogecoin only to watch their hearts drop all the way down their chest into their stomach as it hit 24 cents. And then it came back to near what they bought at. And then, so this is why we don't chase large green candles, because this big sideways trading, and look how big these pullbacks are. It even pulled back to the 50% line. Now, Dogecoin over time always returns to, at least historically, over back to 0.5 cents. And who knows? Maybe this time it won't, but historically that's what it's shown that it does. Even when it gets pumped. Now, never been pumped this hard before. Who knows what can happen, but there's plenty of projects that will likely be around and improving costs for businesses, decreasing costs for the general public, that are using this technology to really change the world. And in my opinion, Dogecoin isn't one of those. This is just kind of like a gamble token that people have fun with. And they call it a meme token because it's like a meme. Now, some of the tokens that I think are much better gamble tokens, but they aren't actually gambling because there's actual fundamentals behind them, as well as projects that are working to improve the lives of many people and actually do something cool and functional. And that's Holochain and Ecomi, or the OMI token. And even though those are much cheaper than Dogecoin is now, they were priced about the same until recently. They trade for between a half a cent, a little over half a cent with OMI, and Holochain I think is about 2.5 cents right now. They're both very high supply tokens, and so the price per token is very, very cheap. And they're ones that, if everything goes well for them, they might hit $1. And I know that's the big thing that people are pushing Dogecoin to, is to $1. Dogecoin to $1. Boy, if you're only buying it now, and even if it does go to $1, which is unlikely, but it could happen, you're really only making a 3x. There's a lot of better places, in my opinion, where I'm putting my money in Dogecoin. I just don't touch ever with my funds. I was tempted way back here to buy some, because there is a way to trade Dogecoin that takes it out of the gambling arena and puts it in the you know what's going to happen arena. And that's every time it hits like half a cent, you buy some, and then you set up. So right away you go ahead and set up some sell orders that when it hits 1 cent, you will sell half of what you have. And then when it hits 2 cents, you sell another half of what you have. And then when it hits 4 cents, you sell another half of what you have. And then you just keep repeating this pattern, because over time, Dogecoin continues to perform this way. And it's no longer a gamble, because pretty consistently it hits these kind of markers. And if you followed that strategy, it's called the little old lady strategy, you would actually do quite well in these pumps. But it would not involve paying anywhere near these prices. You'd be waiting for it to come way back down here to under half a cent again to be able to make this play happen. So, boy, it's been actually quite high since way back here in January. And it'll probably continue to go up and down and be higher than normal through this bull run. And then it will probably crash during the bear market, and it will probably go back to that point. So if you want to have fun with this, like during the crypto winter, this is a fun one to kind of have fun with like that, and play around like that. All right, so we are doing this giveaway. Let me give you the details on it. So between the admins and I have 2 admins on the Telegram channel. If you haven't joined the Telegram channel, you have to join there. And the way you do it is you click see more on the YouTube video, and you'll see a link to the Telegram channel, because that's where we're running the giveaway. And the giveaway is this, that you will need to, by the end of this month, give your prediction for what one chain's price will be at the end of the following month. And we are going to give that to 7 winners. So we're looking at VeChain, and this is a project that I frequently cover and I believe in. And so we will be giving $1,000 worth of VeChain to the winners. And the way it'll go is the first positions, 1, 2, and 3, with the closest guesses, they will get $200 worth of VeChain themselves. And then the four next people, position 4, 5, 6, 7, they will get $100 worth of VeChain each. And I know to some of you that's not a lot of money, and to some of you that's a great boost to your portfolios, which is fantastic. Just I pitched in some money myself, and then my admins wanted to up the ante and do this giveaway. But I don't love giveaways like in general, because I believe in teaching people to fish rather than just giving them fish, right? So I want to work it in a way at least there was some skill development involved, and the skill development has to do with learning how to chart, which is what I'm really interested in, people learning how to do and making smarter investments, right? So you can't even just come to CoinGecko and you can play around with some charts here, and on CoinGecko you can change it to whether you want the 4-hour chart or whatever, and we did reach a high here, but I am going to back up to TradingView, and we're going to put it in here, which I do use TradingView a lot. And so the best to trade against is like VeChain versus Tether, and I'm going to clear all the drawings on here. And it's making your analysis of where you think it will be. Now, I started this channel just in January, adding content to it. I think there may have been a few videos in December, but really started working on it in January. And I was covering VeChain a lot, and it's done phenomenal. It's been one of my big picks for my own portfolio, and it's done phenomenal. So it's hit all the way here. Now realize we are quite low versus it's almost $10 all-time high during the 2018 bull market. The altcoins, some of them still peaked in 2018 versus 2017, and this was one of them, and it hit almost $10 in early 2018. So we're still at 1/4 of its previous all-time high. So the question is, where is this going to be by the end of May? I'm going to refresh this because this little tool is in the wrong spot. There we go. So where is it going to be by the end of May? So here's the beginning of May, and we're not even yet to the beginning, but where do you think it's going to be by the end of May? And then you will let one of my two admins know on the Telegram channel, and the two admins are Nini and Top Notch, and they will keep track of everyone's guesses. Now you'll only get one guess, and don't try changing your name. We're going to get your information, so your email and your Telegram username and your Twitter profile account, so that we can just make sure there's one entry per person. And make your best guess. Do some charting so that you can make an educated guess. So if you do the Fibonacci retracement, one of the other things that it gives you is these extension lines, where this is a tool investors use to make their guesses of where it could run up to. And so this is the timeline you're looking for by the end of May, right here. Where is it going to be? Now, is it going to be way up here? Is it going to continue trading sideways? How far up is it going to be? Is it going to be at this 330 mark? Is it going to be at 360? Is it going to be way up higher? Where is it going to be? And so the 7 people that are closest will end up getting some kind of reward paid out to their VeChain wallet. Make sense? All right, guys, I do want to thank all of you for joining me. And when I say guys, I also mean to the gals out there. I know we have some gals that subscribe, and we thank you. We love to have women in crypto. I know a bunch of us are techie and kind of nerdy. To be in crypto this early, you have to have at least some technical skills and technical understanding. For most people to be in crypto, there are some without much there, but it's usually a friend that is very technical that kind of told them pay attention to what's going on to cryptocurrency. So welcome everyone who's here. I know many of you are new and some of you are very experienced. We love all types. Also within the Telegram channel, have some smart people in there and a lot of discussions going on. So by all means, join us there. I jump in there myself occasionally and put my opinions and thoughts. Sometimes my opinions and thoughts that never make it to YouTube videos because I don't have the time to then put it in a video. So I do thank all of you for joining me, and we will see you next time.
Success is falling, flowing like rain. The timing's right, we're getting paid. Come on, remakers, let's make this happen.